this team is not respectfully throwing out slappies 2022, 2023 on their special team coverage. As we continue our position preview this offseason, special teams kicking us off, Bo, and the Cardinals remain pretty consistent with their third unit on the team.
That's right. Look, I mean, it's one that gets overlooked. It's one that doesn't get its flowers enough. It's a position group that is coordinated by Jeff Rogers, who is the holdover from the Wilkes coaching staff.
Yeah,
he lasted through Kingsbury, and now he's here with Gannon, and gets the respect from Gannon, Austin Fort, and everybody involved. And it's one that when the Arizona Cardinals were rolling last year and going into the bye week, was playing at a very high clip, like from punt coverage to actual, punting the football, and also making their kicks, as Chad Ryland did with 3 game-winning kicks like he had. There was just consistency across this third phase for the Arizona Cardinals, and it's one that they view as a pillar of importance to have success during any season, not just this big 2025 upcoming year.
Yeah, to me, it's a unit that often gets overlooked. I didn't like the DJ Dallas signing last offseason. He proved to be serviceable. Yeah. We think Greg Dortch is going to return punts this year. The coverage unit should only be better because the quality of athlete that the Cardinals have brought in via free agency and specifically the draft, like Denzel Burke's going to cover kicks for you. He's one of the best tacklers in college football last year, defensive back. Like this team is not respectfully throwing out slappies 2022, 2023 on their special team coverage. So to me, it's a unit that I think is going to remain viable. We know how much emphasis Gannon puts on it. With a defense that is trending this way, it has to be coupled by special teams. We saw 2016 with Bruce Arians, like that team should have been a playoff team, but their special teams were so horrendous, it basically knocked them below 500 that year. So we can see a unit like this one kind of catapult the team in the opposite direction. But let's take a look at Blake Gillikin, the Cardinals punter, who, by the way, did a nice job taking over for Andy Lee once upon a time, is in a position now to put together his third consecutive strong year for the Cardinals punting the football.
Yeah, it's not the coffin corner. It's Gillikin's island as he pushes footballs into, inside the 10-yard line, the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
But a strong leg, a guy that they missed when he was injured at the end of the season. I think, what was it? Michael Parody was the guy that filled in for him. But Blake Gillikin, after they picked him up, brought him over from the Saints, look at the gross yardage. His gross punt average was over 50 yards, almost 51. It was third in the league. And then his net yards were very impressive as well. You had him both seasons. He was a guy that was firmly inside the top 10, and I think is getting some notoriety as one of the better punters. With those guys, those athletes that they deploy at the gunner positions, Joey Blunt, Max Melton played that. I think you'll probably see maybe Elijah Jones get an opportunity there if he stays healthy. Third rounder to get there. Michael Walker, who they signed from Washington, he was a guy that was, I think, in the top 5 as far as special team tackles. This is a group that they invest in. They have since Austin Fort came over. There was the story that Ari told us when he joined us, when he talked to Austin Fort. Austin Fort cut his teeth providing insight on Michael Slater, who's one of the greatest special team players in NFL history, to Bill Belichick. He knows how to identify talent in this phase of the game. And the Cardinals, they invest in it. They have each and every year under Austin Fort, and they realize the value of it.
It's a unit that, again, I think is just remain consistently in the top 10. If you're Gillikin, if you're your coverage unit, DJ Dallas, I think, we were all kind of teased with that first kickoff. It was like, oh, okay, is this going to happen like every week? Is this David Johnson-esque circa, 2015? Then he kind of tampered off. But as long as you're not a liability and you can complement what the Cardinals do, which I think you're going to take some chances offensively, I think the Cardinals could have, I don't want to say more 3-and-outs this year, but I do think they could punt the football more because they're going to take more shots. I think they were very conservative last year offensively. We saw less of Blake Gillikin. To me, this year, I think you're going to get maybe a little bit more boom or bust, and I'm all for that if it leads to more points. And the Cardinals defense, they're going to be able to play themselves out of some jams. So it's a unit that thankfully we don't have to worry about, Bo, under Austin Ford and Gann, at least up until this point.
Let's take a look at the entirety of the unit, and we'll see. So we've got it kind of color coded here. We got guys who are thriving, like we mentioned, Gillikin, I think Dallas, and then special teams ace Joey Blunt. Those are guys that are just staples as far as this group. We got Dortch here. I think the punt returning spot could be a little bit vulnerable, up for grabs. I think you want to see. We haven't seen a big return. I think a couple in the 20s last year. Haven't seen a punt return touchdown for a while. And then I think the place kicker is always on the chopping block. Chad Ryland was the way he filled in. He had that great run, that Linsanity run where he was kicking a game winner. It felt like every other week. But then you look at him, he's got what? He's 28 for 32, 26 for 27 as far as extra points. He's a young guy. He's 25, and he was a 4th-round pick for the Patriots, but he was released by the Pats shortly after kind of being drafted by him. You just hope that he continues to kind of settle in even more so and provides you the stability that you had for Matt Prater, who was not asked back because of the belief in Ryland.
Ryland was so good at a very vulnerable time for this team. You remember, like, when they started to win their stretch of games, weren't they like 1-3? They won that game in San Francisco. He started making big walk-off kicks against, of course, the Miami Dolphins. He was making big kicks before halves. Like, he was untouchable. And Wally pipped a very good kicker for the Arizona Cardinals in the process. And this is not a throwaway special teamer. Like, Chad Ryland was a high draft pick for a reason. He just, for whatever reason, didn't work out with his first team. That happens all the time. He was a 4th-round pick. It's 112th pick in the draft. It's like right where like Michael Wilson was picked. Some of these players at the back end of the 3rd, early 4th. So
higher than Shedeur.
Higher than Shedeur Sanders. So to me, it's like, was vetted by the Patriots scouting department that they know special teams is just about as better than anybody, especially during Bill Belichick's tenure. Like, we saw enough last year. The minute that he made that walk-off against the Dolphins, how about the kick against the Dolphins, like early in the half?
Needed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely needed it. Like,
I was walking back
yards. Yeah.
We did our halftime show, and you were in the press box. I was walking back from the concourse. I just shot the halftime show with Damon on remote, and I'm walking back into the stadium, and I'm like, did Chad Ryland just kick from 60-plus yards? What is going on here? And from there, it's just like, when he got confidence and it was beloved by his teammates, it was just a matter of time. Prater was a great kicker for this team. But Ryland comes in. He's cheaper. He's younger, more effective right now. It's just that, to me, that's where Austin Ford's in his bag. The Rylands of the world, Mac Wilson Sr., Yelda Froldholt, like, those guys aren't signed by Steve Keim. I mean, that's when like, oh, our general manager knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah. In additions that he had this offseason, utilized free agency, getting Walker, and then also getting Keaton Crawford, who had a ton of special teams plays at Nevada, at Texas, before transferring to Reno. If he makes this roster, I highly anticipate it's solely based on his ability to place teams. So this is a group that I think we're all pretty confident in. Like we did when we talked about the coaching staff yesterday, there's a ton of confidence in this special teams group to have success here in 2025 for the Cardinals and round out those 3 phases. We'll get into the other 2 phases, the ones a lot of people care more about. Not a slight on the special teams group, but we'll get into bigger, more valuable position groups after this. But you got to like what they're running back here with this crew.